Hi everyone, Phil from Tech for Techs here. Today we're going to be looking at this from Patriot. It's a 2.5-inch solid state drive. It's the P210. It's got a read speed of roughly 520 megabytes per second and a write speed of 430. Okay, today we're looking at the Patriot P210. It's a 2.5-inch SSD serial ATA III based, which basically means it will fit in most desktop PCs and some probably older laptops now, because most are coming with the different connections. But still, you'll be able to plug that in any machine what can take a traditional hard drive. So it's 7mm thick, so it's a low profile SATA III technology, as we mentioned, 2.5-inch, and so forth. It says high performance, and then it's giving you all 8 pluses in blue and 2 in white. Is that the sort of the speed rating? What are they comparing it against? Because if they're comparing it against, for example, the NVMe one, which is roughly 3 times faster, is saying it's high performance as well and gives you the same amount of pluses. So is it high performance against other SATA devices? Is it high performance compared to a hard drive? Who knows? But we'll have a look. You can also see the product itself through the plastic window, so you can see what it likes. Basically a black box with a sticker on it, which is in blue and black with some information, 512 gigabytes and so forth. I suppose that doing it that way, it saves them having to print it on the box. There's different specifications for each one. On the back, let's have a look. English, it tells you the basics on there. You've got French and all the others. You've got phone numbers and addresses. So basically there's not much information on the back there. That would probably be any use to most people, unless obviously you don't speak English. But that's pretty much it. It doesn't say anything about the speeds this runs at, which is always concerning when I see a product. It doesn't tell you what speeds it runs at on the box. To me, that means they're trying to hide something. Are they or not? Who knows? But I see it quite often where they don't put the specs on the box and the performance is actually not bad. And then other times they don't put it on because they don't want you to know, because it's actually pretty poor. But we'll have a look. Let me just check on their website. I do have it up just to make sure. Well, according to their website, it will do read speeds up to 520 megabytes per second, and write is up to 430 megabytes per second. It does also come with a 3-year warranty, which I don't see any information on here. Oh yeah, limited 3-year warranty. It's written really small on the back. So you do have that option there. Okay, so let's have a closer look at the product itself. Inside the box, you haven't got much other than the SSD. There's no manual in there. There seems to be no form of software. I've checked on the website, clicked on support, and all I'll get is technical support and so forth. So it doesn't look like there's any software to download or anything like that to monitor it or anything like that. So basically what you get is what you see. It's pretty straightforward. You can see the specifications on there. I have checked the website. They do have various different sizes. They've got 256, 512 gigabyte, as well as 1 and 2 terabyte versions of this available as well. Doesn't specifically say if the speeds are different per size, or at least not from what I can see without reading the documentation for each individual product. As you can see on there, warranty voided, seal cover is damaged or removed. Bottom's pretty straightforward. And there's not much to really see. You've got obviously your connections there where you're going to be connecting your SATA cables or sticking it in your laptop or wherever you may be putting it. Would have been nice to see just like the Patriot logo or something up here with the size maybe, and then on the back of it putting the rest of the information, but I suppose they're doing it cheap as possible by putting one sticker on there. But otherwise, it's pretty straightforward. So let's check the speeds. As you can see, we've got the drive plugged into the machine. Details are in the description about the specifications of the machine. We're going to do some basic testing on here just to see how fast it goes and also what sort of temperatures it gets up to as well. So as you can see here, we're just opening up hardware info. Let me zoom into the screen so you can actually see it better. Okay, you should be able to see that now. We're doing it this way rather than doing screen capture, so you can actually see live what it's like. So you can see there's no editing taken place where we've edited or changes the results or anything like that, like some websites have been known to do. So you're getting to see what is the actual scores we get. As you can see, the temperature at the moment is running at roughly around about 26-27 degrees. Now we're going to run Atto. This will allow us to see what sort of speed the drive is actually running at. So I'm going to fast forward here to when the results come in. After a couple of minutes of testing, I've realised I've selected the wrong drive, so I've changed it to drive D, which is obviously the Patriot drive rather than the C drive. The reason why we test it as an additional drive rather than the C drive is so no background programs can interfere with the scores. Okay, Atto's finished here, and you can basically see the scores there. And the read speeds are up to about 510 megabytes per second, but as you can see, they're all over the place. So, for example, at some points it's lower than 400 megabytes per second, which is not very consistent. Normally on most drives you tend to find the read speed is usually pretty consistent throughout the whole drive, which is very strange, especially when the write speed is consistent. So inconsistent read, consistent write seems a little bit strange. The write speeds are going faster than quoted. They quoted around about 430 megabytes per second. We're getting about 470, 460. We're going to do the same sort of tests again, but we're going to use Crystal Disk Mark just to double check. We've selected the correct drive, so the D drive, and then we're going to run all the tests just so you can see all the results. Again, I'm going to fast forward here to the point where the results come on, otherwise we'll be sitting here for a while. Okay, you can see the read speeds have all come in, and basically it's 424 megabytes per second, which is roughly 100 megabytes on average lower than what they quote, which is, I think, down to the inconsistencies, because each time we run this program it picks up a slightly different speed. Sometimes we run it picks up 300 megabytes per second, other times it'll pick up high 400s, never gets to that 520, so it's very inconsistent. And there's where the write speed comes in. You're looking at nearly 490 megabytes per second. That is a lot faster than what they're quoting. They did quote 430 on the website, again didn't mention it on the box, but that's a lot higher write speed than the read speed. It's usually the opposite way round. It's as if for some reason the results are the wrong way round. They're not, but that's actually what is happening. It's very inconsistent on the read, and the write speeds are actually quite fast, or faster than expected. It's a shame because it's not a bad drive, or should I say a bad brand. The drive as a whole, don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with it. It'd be ideal for a low-end budget machine or office or something like that. Something where you don't need the fastest and most consistent speeds. But if you're going to be using it for gaming or heavy workloads, I would recommend it as a secondary drive if you decide to go for this. Again, the prices are really attractive. I suggest you look on Amazon. We've got links in the description to take you there. If you're buying from distribution, there will be links on our distributor website, which is Tech for Techs.